Dio, that's quite interesting, and it's something that is unfolding right before our very eyes. Everyone is talking about the amount of money, humongous sums that have been going around with regard to primaries, politics, and what's happening, the trend right now in general. Join us as welcome a very special guest. A senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a former governor of Kano State, and the presidential candidate for the NNPP, Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso.
Thank you very much.
It's great to have you with us on
Thank
Weekend
you.
Deal.
Thank you very much.
Many of us have heard a lot about you, and it's a privilege to meet you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
That feature we just aired talked about politics and money. There's a trend. There's so much money being spent. But before we delve into that, Democracy Day. Nigeria has had an interrupted 23 years of democracy. And today, hallmarks one of our giant strides. Let's talk about democracy in Nigeria in general.
Thank you very much. Let me say that I thank Almighty God for showing us this period. I remember in 1998 when we were forming PDP, I believe none of us was sure of seeing even the following day talk less of 23 years. So I thank Almighty God for showing us this time. And I believe in the last 23 years or so, we have learned so much. And I believe that the country has every reason to be happy despite all the failures of the politicians and other professionals in this country. I remember in 1998, our primary goal was actually to remove the military, to bring back democracy to the country. That was when we all came, people from different backgrounds, people of different ideology, and we came together with one sole aim, mainly to sack the military. And that was a big success because it was achieved. And I believe at this point, one has to thank also Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, because it was during his time, our time, that the seed of democracy was really planted. And that's why one of the reasons, one of the pillars why we are enjoying democracy up till this time, despite all the odds that we have seen in the last 23 years. The last 23 years, we have seen a lot of failures, especially in the areas of economy, in the areas of security, and even in the politics itself. So, but by and large, I believe that we have achieved a lot. Many areas have seen a lot of improvement positively. On the other hand, there are many areas that we would have done better as leaders and as a country.
And luckily, we have another opportunity in a few months to make the desired impact or begin to take giant strides in the right progressive direction. The talk, the trend is that there's a lot of money being brought into the political space. Some of the opinion that we're not really doing things the right way. We don't know our democracy, our politics is something we have watched from other countries, and we're growing as gradually with the hope that we're growing in the right way. With this trend, how would you say is the impact on politics will be?
People with the ideology of making people very poor, accumulating wealth, and then when election comes, they go to them and give them, and they have no option other than to collect and vote for them, either at primary or even secondary.
Where would that leave us in the long run if we continue to say because we lack, or because we are poor, or because the times are daunting, we continue to collect? In the long run, how will it fare? How will it impact us as Nigerians?
Yes, you see, that's the one on one hand. On the other hand, there are people like me, I am part of that group, who believe that if you have any opportunity to serve the people, you should serve them well, you should empower them, and they should be over and above whatever little money people or leaders will bring or politicians on the day of election. So these are the groups that we have. I can tell you, all people who are conversant with our version of politics are not coming or being part of our group because of money. They are with us believing that one day we will have opportunity, and when we have that opportunity, they will have their own version of opportunity, meaning that they believe that there would be security, there would be improvement in the economy, there will be opportunities for their children to go to school, there will be opportunities for their families and themselves to go to good hospitals, good infrastructure, and so on and so forth.
Word out there now, what we're being told, what Nigerians with their PVCs want to do, they want to look at individuals, not the platforms on which they are running. But I want to ask you something. Nigerians will be going to the polls soon. Before we come to the party and you as a candidate, what are those qualities we're looking for? Because I believe you're telling me you're antecedent to tell us that you possess some qualities that Nigerians need to seek in electing a leader for the highest office of the land. But what qualities should we be looking out for, male or female, as we pick a candidate worthy to be at the helm of affairs in Nigeria?
Yes, number one is integrity. You have to look at the antecedents of the person seeking to be in office. I think we have passed the level of any experiment now. We want people of proven integrity. We want people of capacity, because we may have integrity and probably lacking in the capacity. And that means it will be extremely difficult for you to achieve anything. So these are the two major things. Of course, when you put all this together, you should expect good governance, which is very important. And of course, you expect handling the politics itself in such a way that Nigerians, not only members of your political party, feel that they are part in government, and parcel of the government. You see, if you are president, you are not just president of your family or even your political party. You are the president of everybody. Anybody within the borders of your country have got responsibility for on you and vice versa. So I think the major things are, in my opinion, the integrity of the person and capacity of the person. Of course, there are other things that people must have to look at, especially the issue of experience. If you don't have an experience, you are just elsewhere by the side, and you are given that particular job, you find it very difficult to handle. And that is why in 2023, people are looking for people who can win the election and at the same time who can do the job well. Somebody who can unite the country, somebody who can improve the economy, and somebody who can stop the killings, the insecurity that we are seeing today in the country, especially in northern part of Nigeria. So I believe these are the sort of things, other than where somebody comes from or his religion or his ethnicity and so on and so forth. So I believe these are the criteria, the way people should elect their president.
The PVC is a very powerful instrument to own at this time. You were telling us your journey from PDP to APC. Now, of course, we've all heard about the NNPP, and you are the presidential candidate on that platform. One would say that the cross-carpeting has become the expected norm. And from where we see as ordinary citizens who want the best for this country, it does seem as though I don't get what I want, I change my party. People don't see me as the candidate to vote for, I change my party. But please tell us different. Why
No,
are we seeing the NNPP today? And what will it be doing differently from what we've had in the past? Because many of your party members have come from these parties. They've evolved. They were built and made on those platforms.
Yes, you see, as I told you, in 1998, PDP was formed based on the fact that we wanted democracy, we wanted to kick out the military. And therefore, people of different ideology, in fact, just selected people, well-known names at that particular time, and those of us who were young supporting our leaders decided to form the PDP. And when we were elected the following year, in 1999, I realized that we had so many people who ordinarily we should not be under the same roof with them politically. And therefore, crisis started in Kano, even at national level and other states. I had to lose my election in 2002.
When you say you had to lose your election, you stepped down?
Yeah.
You stepped aside?
You see, we had people who were together with us, people who believed that the money in the treasury should be shared within ourselves and our families. That's on one hand. On the other hand, we believe that the money is for the people. The people should benefit from it. And then we had to start having some disagreements. And that's the sort of ideology I mentioned earlier on. So when I lost the election in 2003, this is one of the factors. Another factor was the issue of Buhari, who came at that particular time to contest election for the first time in 2002, 2003. And our presidential candidate then was Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, a Christian Yoruba man from Southwest. And we stood by him while others on the other side used all sorts of sentiments and so on. So the point is that this issue of ideology was a big factor that brought in crisis in PDP then and even now. So that was why when the issue of progressives came up, we thought that was the best place for us, because we thought we would have people who think in the same direction with us, and therefore we moved to the APC right from the formation, long before we left PDP to join the APC. We started right from the beginning, but for some tactical reasons, we were not showing our faces. So, but when the government started in 2015, it became very clear to us that it wasn't as good as we were expecting at that particular time.
But were you seeking perfection? As a journey to progress, it was just taking off.
Yeah, that's the taking off. You see, everybody water has to take its own level. When I came back to PDP, believing that things were changed, were completely different, I realized that it was even worse than I left it. And that was why my humble self, many others, decided that we should come and form a political party. Unfortunately, the INEC decided not to register any party between 2019 to 2023 election. And we have no option other than to go and follow due process to select the best party under the circumstances. And that's when we had the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP.
This primaries is being tagged the delegates primaries. They just concluded one. And many of the amounts of money we're talking about stemmed from the progressive move from delegates being elected to candidates being elected. And I've heard some politicians say that they did not part with any amount of money, that what they did was just logistic support. But can we ask you now, how much money did you have to part with for the delegate to emerge as candidate?
I can tell you, in our party, we gave close to nothing, because I am not in government. I'm not, even when I was a government, we did
We're not giving it out so generously.
We did everything possible to protect our integrity. We have done that over the years successfully, and that is why we are even here. So I was really surprised and disappointed with the amount of money people were quoting around that were given to the delegates. And you can imagine people who have spent that money, what they will do when they succeed, when they form government. I hope they didn't even borrow the money because they will be even more under pressure to take government or money from treasury. So I think we should be more sensitive to what is happening on the ground rather than just closing our eyes to assume that anything goes.
Can I ask you a question? And I want an honest answer. Are you of the opinion that with the way things are in Nigeria, that a presidential candidate can progress from there to Aso Rock without spending humongous sums? Just people will vote people in based on just integrity and capacity. Do you see that happening?
No, you see, people have been spending money, especially money for logistics. You cannot come from Kano to Abuja, or come from Port Harcourt or from Enugu, or even from Kaduna or Nasarawa or any of the neighboring states without spending money. But you see, what we are seeing is that people are being purchased like animals or goats or something. Somebody will give, they say, $10,000. Some will say, oh, it's 15,000. The story is even that people are paying $20,000 to one delegate. And now we are talking of thousands of delegates. If you put your calculator, 20,000 or so times this huge number is a lot of money. And given delegates that amount of money, anybody who made that investment, if that is an investment, you'll only be looking forward to be in government to recoup the money and make huge profit. And that's not the essence of government. The essence of government is to go and serve the people. And that's why our Kwankwaso movement, the national movement, and even the NNPP itself, we emphasize the use of money. We rely so much on integrity and capacity. We rely so much in what somebody can offer to the people. My colleagues in politics should be more careful not to soil their fingers again on the issue of purchasing delegates and throwing out money in the middle of poverty.
It's interesting to hear your view. I do hope that Nigerians are listening. I want to, before I let you go, I want to ask you one last question. Many of the opinion that women have been able to hold their own in the political space. The few that are in the National Assembly, in the upper and the lower house, they've been able to make impact. And we have the trending story now from Adamawa State, where Hajia Aishatu Binani has emerged as the gubernatorial candidate on the platform of the APC. How critically are you exploring the idea of having a female running mate?
Yes, I am so happy that a lady in Adamawa was able to get a ticket in one of the three major parties. In our own case, especially in NNPP, we have been working towards getting as many women as possible. I'm aware some purchase forms for State Assembly, for House of Reps, even for Senate. So we will encourage them. We'll do whatever it takes to make sure that they win their elections. I am one of those who believe that women should be encouraged to hold the responsible positions in this country. I will be very happy if I have any lady really that is interested, is capable, and can have the capacity to add value to our ticket, because I'm here to pick my vice presidential candidate. So women are very key, and that was why even when I was in government in Kano, we took the education of women from primary to tertiary levels very seriously. I remember that out of about 3,000 young men and women that we sent abroad to 14 countries. A particular program of medical doctors. 300 we selected, all of them. Out of 300, only 45 were young men.
The rest were female.
Female, to do medicine abroad. That is in addition to the young men and women we sponsored locally. We established 2 universities, Kano University of Science and Technology and Northwest University in Kano. And we encourage women right from primary, secondary, and tertiary level. We sponsored their education, good quality education, free of charge during our time from primary to secondary to university. It was very free in Kano State.
Interesting.
And I'm happy that we have done that. And that is why even our
You can pick a female running mate now.
Yeah, well, by the grace of God, if you are interested, maybe after this program we can
talk further about how I can run.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like to talk with politicians, especially those who have integrity and capacity and who mean well for Nigeria. But we'll be doing it from this side. We'll be telling Nigerians, giving them accurate and on point and up-to-date information. But politics may not be for all of us. But we applaud those who are working diligently and assiduously to take Nigeria to the next exceptional level. Thank you very much for this chat. This time you spent with Weekend Deal. This time you've been talking to Nigeria and the world. It's an honor and a privilege to finally get to meet you. Of course, we've all heard about the Kwankwaso movement, and we know your antecedent. Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso, presidential candidate on the platform of the NNPP.
Thank you very much.
We wish you well.
Thank you.
You're watching Weekend Deal. A break beckons. We urge you to continue to watch and learn from our program. Don't go away.